So let me explain the difference between making a decision with conviction compared to hesitating or wavering on a decision. So first, we know that once you make a decision, there is really nothing else you need to do other than know that it is already done. And when you declare something as this is a fact, this is what it is, whether you see it in the 3D with your two physical eyes or not, if you are pure in your knowingness that it is already done and you can move about your day, not think about it again, not care, or if the thing crosses your mind, you're just like, yeah, it's already done. And that, my friend, is the most powerful way to manifest, just knowing that it's done, because you just know it. You know it like you know your name. You sense in your vessel a feeling of calm neutrality, calm knowingness. You know it like you know your name, or you know what color shirt you're wearing. Now, you can also declare something and say, yeah, this is what I want. I know this is what I want. But let's say you have a belief system that directly contradicts the thing that you say is yours and it's already done. It doesn't contradict the knowingness that the thing is already done. But if there's a belief system in there, which is opposing this thing, so let's say you're manifesting money, but you have a belief saying that you've always been broke and that's just what's been familiar to you, then your ego might give you a little bit of a time with you declaring that it's done. This is where your affirmations, your visualizations, your scripting, your self-talk, your vision boards, this is where all of that shit comes in. Okay, breath work, nervous system regulation. All right, because you potentially might know that it's done, you're sure that this is what you want, and you're like, nope, this is it, I'm dead ass fucking certain this is what I want, but you have an opposing belief system. So in this case, you can do all of those techniques, because the techniques are really just there to get your ego mind to kind of stay out of the way of the manifestation happening, compared to scenario one, where your ego wasn't getting in the way because you decided with a pure knowingness, and knowingness overrides everything. With scenario two, you had a belief system that directly contradicts it, or you got impatient with timing, some egoistic monkey mind shit is going on. You do these techniques to help incorporate a new belief system, which is in alignment with the thing that you want. So if you're manifesting money, but the belief system was that you've always been broke, and your ego gives you a hard time, like bro, like, hey, look at your bank balance, look at this, look at that, right? What you're going to do is the techniques, because that's going to help you to build a new belief system. It's also going to give your ego something to do so that it feels like it's working, because the ego always wants to feel like it's working on something. Okay, now these two scenarios are when you have this conviction that this is what you want. Scenario one is just, that's it, you declare it, you say it's done. Scenario number two, if there's an opposing belief system and your monkey mind keeps chattering, that's where you do the techniques and all the nervous system regulation. Now, with scenario two, let's call this 2A, there is also the potentiality for you to recognize the belief system that you have in direct contradiction to it. Even if it's just a belief in timing, well, where is it? You're getting impatient. You can just override that in an instant with the same knowingness as you did in scenario one. And you can say, this belief system does not serve me. Bye. Peace out. I don't abide by this. I never have. I never will. And that's over. You can do that, and you wouldn't theoretically need to do all the techniques and nervous system regulation, because you can just declare something once and be done with it. But again, this entirely depends on the individual. So know that that is also a possibility, but it might not work for everyone, hence why techniques are so often spoken about and utilized. So here we have scenario number 3 now. Okay. Scenario number 3 is you're hesitating. And you know what you want, but you're kind of looking for a backup plan, or you're saying, well, I want this, but what if something better comes along? This is going to cause you a lot of time delay in the 3D, some inconsistencies in the 3D. Now, it's not that the 3D is being inconsistent. It's just that because you haven't decided on what exactly you wanted, if you're saying, well, I don't know if I should manifest this SP or that SP or someone better, then your energy is so scattered that you might get movement with SP1 on Tuesday, you might get movement with SP2 on Thursday, and then a new motherfucker might pop in on Saturday, and you're like, oh, okay, and which one do you want? If you want to narrow it down to one of them, you're the one that has to narrow it down, because remember, the matrix is responding to you. So again, the clearest conviction of a decision is going to get you the fastest, smoothest, easiest results. Even if you have a built-up belief system that contradicts the manifestation, it's still going to be easier for you to focus on the thing that you want, knowing that it's done, leaving it alone, just chilling, which in that case, you're not going to care anyway. Or number 2, if you're building a belief system to support the manifestation, you're still clear on exactly what you want. But with scenario 3, you don't know exactly what you want. You're the one that is being indecisive. So this is why you are likely going to experience these sudden starts, these 1 step forward, 2 steps backward, hot and cold behavior. You attain some money and then the money flows out again. Like, do you see what I'm saying? And it's not because the matrix is testing you. The universe ain't testing shit, okay? No one is testing you. No one is saying, are you really ready for this? Can you handle this? Shit doesn't need to hit the fan. What is another thing? Things have to fall apart before they fall together. No. If you are indecisive in your mind, you're likely going to have your 3D play out in a way where you don't know what the fuck is going on. And, you know, that's a literal fucking representation that you don't know what's going on up in here, because you're like, this day I want this motherfucker, the next day I want that motherfucker. Or if you're manifesting one person and you keep going back back and forth between news story, oh my God, SP loves me so much, oh my God, I can't believe this motherfucker said that 16 years ago. Do you see what I'm saying? So your inconsistencies in knowing what you want and then wavering in that knowingness of what you want between two different or multiple stories, or you just simply not knowing what you want, or you throwing some shit out saying this or something better, and you just being erratic in your mind about where your focus is, that's still going to play out mirrored perfectly in the 3D. So the strongest scenario clearly is scenario number one. You just know and you're like, all right, whatever, who cares? That is when things start to move in your favor in the 3D. Even if you see it in 3D or not, there's always movement for all of the scenarios. There's always constant movement. Keep that in mind. But with scenario one, there's just the strongest potentiality of the manifestation to seemingly to happen out of thin air. Number one, because you know what you want. Number two, because you're not focused on time. You just know that it's done. The way that I'm wearing a fucking black shirt right now and I don't feel jack shit towards that. I'm just like, this is what it is, period. And you're living your life, okay? That's the strongest frequency that you can send out, just pure knowing. There's no feeling associated with it. You just know it like you know your name. That shit will have your manifestations just boom, coming rapidly, okay? Now, with scenario number two, where you have a built-up belief system that contradicts this, that's a frequency in strength because you know what you want and you decided this is it. There's no wavering on what you want. There might be wavering in your mind of, you know, I have to override this belief system, but what about the timing, but blah, blah, blah. But if you keep your focus, right, your target object is the thing that you want. So if you're manifesting an SP and you know that it's only this SP, it's no one else, you're just going to keep that as like your focus object while you're doing the work with the affirmations, visualizations, and working to change any detrimental belief systems that might be contradicting or slowing down this manifestation from appearing right away. Remember, creation is finished. Everything is done instantly, but you're shifting yourself to the version of you that is already in congruence with this thing in that timeline, okay? So scenario number three, let me tell you about scenario number three, because this one is the most chaotic because you're not sure what you want. What I recommend to remedy the situation is you just putting out a broad statement, okay? If you want to decide between 10 different motherfuckers, take the motherfuckers out of the equation. Just say, I am in my most perfect relationship, and then you think about what is perfection in your relationship. What does that look like for you? You can take your focus off the person and just say, I'm in my perfect relationship, but then you got to be clear about what your perfect relationship looks like. You could get as specific as what the motherfucker looks like, their physical features, how they treat you, what your daily life looks like with them. Get as specific as you can in just the relationship sector and just go with that, okay? Because you got to focus on something or else you're just going to get chaotic results that are all over the place. If you are focused on getting a specific job, but you're really like, oh, well, you know, I don't know if I want this job. What if another job pays better? Then you're going to get the same thing, okay? You might get back and forth between a million different places and you don't like any of the jobs. So you're just going to say, this is a salary that I want working for a company that I enjoy working for, okay? So you're going to get clear on what the salary is, and you're going to get clear that you love your job, okay? And if you want to get specific on, you know, what your day looks like, are you working from home, or are you going into a place, then feel free to get specific with that. But when you are having any type of indecisiveness, know that that is going to be reflected out. So if you can't make a big decision, even though no decision is big or small, if you're just having an issue with making a decision in manifesting the thing that you want, then you have to broaden it. You have to expand it a little bit. So you're not focused on any SP. You're just focused on the type of relationship you want. And the SP comes included. If you can't decide between different jobs, you focus on what salary do you want? What type of position do you want to be in? What do you want to be doing every day at that job, right? And you focus on that. So if you're being indecisive, get clear on something, even if it seems broader than the thing that you are manifesting, because that's just the way to get faster results. You have to give a command and you have to have a focus object, okay? If you're indecisive, you're going to get this wonky type of movement in all directions in the 3D. And it's not that the universe is testing you, making sure you really want your fucking shit. No, that's because your mind is scattered. And so the matrix, because it's a direct reflection of what's going on inside your mind, has no choice but to be scattered as well. So you have to get clear about something, even if it's not the exact thing that you want. The clearer you are with just anything in the ballpark range of that is going to speed shit up.